So, you're an EB-5 investor. You've already made one of the biggest decisions of your life to build a future in the US. But guess what? Another huge strategic choice is right around the corner. Should you stick with being a permanent resident, or should you go all the way and pursue US citizenship? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that choice really means for you.
This right here is the big question, isn't it? And it's not just about paperwork or legal status. Nope, this is a deeply personal decision that's going to affect how you travel, your family, and your sense of security for years to come. So let's dive in and figure out which path truly lines up with your vision. Okay, let's just quickly set the stage. The reason you're even thinking about this is because of the EB-5 program. You put down a serious investment, help create American jobs, and in return, you got the keys to live and work in the United States. That's the foundation we're starting from. The question now is, what do you want to build on top of it? All right, first things first, let's talk about the foundation itself. What does your life as a U.S. permanent resident actually look and feel like? What does that powerful status you've worked so hard for really get you?
At its core, being a permanent resident is exactly what it sounds like. You have the legal right to live and work anywhere you want in the United States, pretty much forever. That green card in your wallet, that's your key to the country. As long as you follow the rules, it's your ticket to stay indefinitely.
And when you actually look at these rights laid out, it's kind of incredible. The freedom you have is immense. You can live in New York or California, start your own business, work for almost any company, and make sure your kids get a great education in public schools. For a lot of investors, this right here, this is mission accomplished. So, if being a permanent resident is so great, why even think about the next step, right? Well, here's a good way to look at it. Citizenship isn't something you have to do. It's more like an optional upgrade, one that unlocks a whole new level of perks and privileges.
U.S. citizenship is the top tier. It's the highest status you can achieve. For most of you who came through the EB-5 program, you can start thinking about this about 5 years after you get that first conditional green card. It's a process called naturalization, and it fundamentally changes your relationship with the U.S., giving you a permanent stake in its future.
And this is where the differences really start to jump out at you. As a citizen, you get a political voice. You can vote. You get a U.S. passport, which is a total game changer for international travel. And maybe the biggest one of all, you get the ultimate protection from being deported. These are some seriously powerful rights that only citizens have.
Okay, now that we know the basics of both, let's do this. Let's put them head to head. We'll compare them on the things that really matter to a global investor like you: travel, taxes, family, and of course, that long-term security.
Let's start with travel, because for anyone doing business internationally, this is a big one. As a resident, you have to prove the U.S. is your home base. If you're gone for too long, it can get complicated. But as a citizen, all that worry just vanishes. You could live abroad for 10 years, come back with no questions asked, and travel the world with one of the most powerful passports on the planet.
Okay, let's talk taxes. This is where things can get confusing, but let me make it really simple. The bottom line is this: both permanent residents and citizens are taxed on their worldwide income. The basic tax rule is the same for both. The real difference isn't what you pay, but the freedom you have. A citizen can live anywhere in the world and still keep their status, while a resident can't.
For so many people, family is at the very heart of this entire journey. As a resident, you can sponsor your spouse and unmarried kids, your immediate family. But when you become a citizen, that circle gets a whole lot bigger. Suddenly, you can petition for your parents, your married children, and even your brothers and sisters. It gives you the power to bring more of your loved ones together.
And finally, security. Let's be clear, permanent residency is very secure, but it's not absolute. It can be taken away for serious reasons. Citizenship, though, that's the ultimate safety net. It is permanent, and it is incredibly difficult to lose, which gives you a level of peace of mind that you just can't get any other way.
So we've laid out the facts, right? Now comes the fun card: strategy. How do you take all this information and figure out what it means for you? Well, it starts with looking at your own journey and busting a few common myths that are floating around out there.
This timeline really puts it all into perspective. You've already climbed the hardest parts of the mountain. You're somewhere on this path right now. Seeing it laid out like this shows you exactly where you are and when that next big decision point is coming up.
All right, time to bust our first myth. This is a big one. We hear it all the time. Do you have to become a citizen to really get what you paid for with your EB-5 investment? Let's get to the truth. And the fact is absolutely not.
Your permanent residency already delivers on the fundamental promise of the EB-5 program. You already have the freedom to live here, work here, and run your business. Citizenship adds amazing benefits, for sure, but it doesn't take anything away from the incredible value you already hold.
Okay, here's another myth, and this one tries to connect your immigration status with your bank account. The question is, does upgrading to a citizen somehow make your EB-5 project perform better?
And again, it's so important to get this straight. Your investment track and your immigration track are separate. The success of that hotel or real estate project has everything to do with business and nothing to do with whether you're holding a green card or a passport.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this: there is no single right answer. This isn't a test. It's a personal choice based on your life. Do you need the freedom to travel constantly without worry? Is bringing your parents to the U.S. a top priority? Does having a vote in American elections matter to you? Your answers to those questions will light the way. Look, we've laid out the rights, the responsibilities, and the strategic differences. We've busted the common myths. So now the question isn't which path is better. The only question that matters is which path is better for you. What is your vision for your future, and which of these powerful statuses is going to help you build it?